So today I just want to go over the Blackboard shell and also a little of what's going on as far as navigating the MyLab statistics. So we will have announcements to check on. This will be located here. I think there's announcements in there right now. I'll remove those. The discussion board is another key piece that we'll deal with. So if I talk about discussion board, that's this dashboard up here. The folders, you'll hit the getting started folder first. It'll have the greetings. It'll have the simple syllabus. So again, be sure to read the syllabus carefully about the class. And then there's also the Teaching and Learning Center. There's also a very good help that you can get at the Teaching and Learning Center. So even though you're an online student, you're more than welcome to go to the Teaching and Learning Center for assistance. I can also be assistance this semester. My schedule is pretty wide open as well. So we can meet face-to-face, or we can use Microsoft Teams as a way to learn from distance. But my hours typically, though, will be during the day, 8 to 4:30. So keep that in mind. An online class, you're kind of more out there on the island. So those are some things you'll see in your getting started folder. The main thing there is the simple syllabus. MyLab all assignments. This is where all your assignments will be found. So you'll just kind of go through here. Notice the due dates over on the left side. This is when things are due. So a date and time. So this is the last absolute time you can do it without a late penalty. Again, you can't have late penalties on stuff and still do it. And the late penalties aren't that bad. You can still do well in the class, turning things in late. But remember, the class does have an end date. So May 4th at 5 p.m. is the last day that you can turn anything in. So you really want to be proactive and stay ahead of the class. So keep that in mind. Also, on exam 1, there is going to be a lockdown browser. So make sure that you can use that. And then there aren't any more lockdown browsers until you get to the final. The final is also going to be a lockdown browser. So the rest of it, you don't need any of my assistance with. Typically, even with the lockdown browsers, you don't need me necessarily. But if you see any issues, that's fine. Let me know about it. If I click on an assignment, you can see there's some of the questions there. Again, you can do the question more than once. There's also tools inside here. Notice how this says, it'll take you to the textbook where this information can be found. So some of them have a textbook. If I had question 10, maybe, sometimes they'll have there's a video on this one. This actually shows you a video of something. Question 19, textbook again. So there's different tools inside here to pay attention to. Sometimes they'll view an example, that'll take you to the textbook or videos and things like that. So pay attention to this bottom thing right there. There's a lot of tools in here to learn. If you get stuck on this, that's where the Teaching Learning Center, myself, can help you pick up on some of these tools. There's a lot to be had inside the shell here of doing the homework. Again, this is what we call the MyLab statistics thing. So I'll close that out, take us back here. Your gradebook is here. So if you want to know how you're doing, this is where your gradebook is. Keep in mind, your grades can be inflated if you do not do assignments. It only grades what's turned in. At the end of the semester, I will turn anything that you haven't done to zeros, and that'll give you your true grade. So as long as you're doing your work, your grade will be accurate. If you put stuff off, you're thinking, oh, I'm doing great, but you haven't done anything, well, you're thinking incorrectly there. So the textbook chapter links, if you click here, so this is like chapter 1. If I click on that, it'll load up here. So once you do this a few times, it doesn't take as long to load. But if you click on the little waffles or hamburgers, you call them, I can go to like 1-1, and I can use the textbook and make my outlines that way. So definitions and things like that, you can kind of pick up on these. Also, if you highlight this stuff here, I can't do it. Let's see if I can do it here or not. I don't know if I can or not here. Some stuff you can do, and sometimes it's nice that you can highlight stuff and make flashcards off of stuff too. If you want this to make flashcards, or again, if you just want to make your own notes, this is what you'd be building your notes off of, is a lot of the stuff that's in bold definitions and things like that. So if you make these definitions in your notes, you'll be able to use your notes to take the exam. So note taking is still really, really important, because there is a lot of vocabulary in statistics. So note taking becomes very important to the class. So you will be allowed to use any notes that you take. So creating a binder and making notes is a good tool in this. So the textbook is one way of making your notes. If I upload that there, there's also Unit 1 videos or Unit 1 PowerPoints. So PowerPoints. So 1.3 is there's a PowerPoint there. And so again, you can maximize these however you want to do it. And you can take your notes also through here. Notice how there's the objectives of the unit, the title of the unit, the what's being learned. And this also kind of breaks down your vocabulary very well too. So if you like the PowerPoints as a way to make notes, that's fine. But remember, you cannot use the PowerPoints for your tests. You can only use your notes for your tests. So keep that in mind for your final and your proctoring tests. You're only really supposed to be using notes that you build. So you can't really go back in here. So I got PowerPoints for those lessons. Unit 1 videos. So I've got chapter 1 videos here. So study tips for chapter 1, random numbers using the calculator. So I also kind of create some videos that I find useful in chapter 1. Chapter 2, I create some videos. Again, chapter 2 starts to get a little bit more into some actual math in the calculator. Chapter 1 is a lot of vocabulary. Chapter 2 is when it starts to be a little bit more mathematical, and you're doing stuff with graphs and charts, and I will show you how you can create a lot of this using your calculator, so you can kind of see that's going on there. All righty. So for each chapter, you have the book. So you have your book you can use. You have PowerPoints, and you also have videos. So there's a lot of ways to learn in this class, and then you can kind of go from there. And so again, the assignments are located here, and there are also learning tools what's inside my lab. But these are also some nice ways here that you can build notes. So keep that in mind. Building notes is a really important part here as we move forward into the class. All righty. That's a quick snapshot of Blackboard. So again, pay attention to your announcements, pay attention to the discussion board, and make sure you read your syllabus. And also, this is where all your homework is going to be housed. And then these are the extra resources to help you build notes and get prepared for the class. Again, most of my modeling is with the TI-84 calculator, so keep that in mind. If you're trying to use a different calculator, you may have to go out into the world of YouTube and learn how to use your calculator. So best luck this semester. If you need anything from me, you can email me. Have a good day.